I'm Sam from Crystal Core Yoga, and welcome to this 7-day yoga journey. Over the next 7 days, we'll be doing different practices, looking at yin yoga, ashtanga, and classes to relax and unwind. And in the different classes, I use props. So I may have a pillow, cushion, blocks, or straps that can come into the practice. And at the start of those videos, I'll explain what may be needed through the practice. For today's practice, I'm just bringing a cushion or pillow underneath the hips to help tilt the pelvis in an easy pose. And you may want to bring in different music through the different practices. If you'd like to put any background music on, choosing any tunes that you enjoy that can be calming and meditative, maybe bringing in a candle, incense, and maybe lowering the lights as well, creating a space that's nurturing for you. And we're beginning today with a class that really aims to think about how we can connect our breath with the physical body and the mental body. And what that looks like is feeling the movement of the breath in the physical body and then thinking and focusing on the breath in the mental body. To begin with, we'll just start by tuning into our own rhythm. So find an easy pose, sitting comfortably. Find your sit bones, maybe move side to side. Bring one hand to the lower abdomen and one to the lumbar arch and draw the shoulders back. Imagine there's a piece of string lifting to the top of your head as you lengthen through the spine. And let the hands then fall on top of the thighs, elbows into the body, and close the eyes as we tune in to our natural rhythm. Take the gaze inward. We're going to just focus on our natural breath. Focus the mind. So we're not sensing it, we're just focusing in on the sensations, connecting the mind with the movement. We're going to hold and find stillness for about 2 minutes in each of the different breath patterns that we take today. Notice if there's any holding of the breath. Sometimes when we focus the mind, that in itself can change the breath. And what we're trying to do is just observe at this stage, not change, just observe what your natural rhythm is, how that feels in your physical body, how that feels in your mental body. And noticing if the mind starts to wander. And if it does, bringing it back to the breath. And opening the eyes for a moment, we're going to bring the one hand to the lower abdomen and one to the heart center. Draw the shoulders back and again push through the sit bones. Make sure we get length in the spine and close the eyes again. Now we're going to extend the breath for a count of 4. I'll cue you to begin and then I'll leave you to your own count. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Continue now with your rhythm. We start to control the breath and extend it for a longer time count. Connect with the mind and the breath and feel the breath move in the physical body, the rise and fall through the body, through the lower abdomen, through the lungs. And then let go of the breath count. Let the count come back to the natural rhythm. Keep the eyes closed. Tune into any subtle energies. And then we're going to open our eyes, release the hands to the sides. So we're just starting to connect the control of the breath, the movement. And now we're going to bring in the bandhas in the body, or the locks that we have. And we can use these to help control the breath a little bit further. They work both in our pranayama practice, so we can draw them in the pranayama when we really focus in on the breath. And they can also help us in our physical practice, in our yoga practice. So we can draw them in to help take us deeper in certain poses. We have 3 locks. The Mula Bandha is our root lock, and it's drawing in the pelvic floor muscles. So you're drawing them in and up. And then they work sequentially. So you do the Mula Bandha and then the Uddiyana Bandha. So the Uddiyana Bandha is our abdominal lock. And we draw the navel in and up towards the spine. And then as the breath moves up, so on the exhale, we come to the Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock. And it's a slight tuck, as if you're drawing the chin into the body. So we're not dropping the head, we're just tucking the chin back. And this is the Jalandhara Bandha. We do that at the end of the exhale breath, like a full stop. And then we release the bandhas. And then you take your inhale for a count of 4. And then exhale, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. And then release. Okay, I'll cue you. So if you'd like to join me again, hands on the thighs, elbows in. Maybe move on the sit bones. You might want to take the feet actually in the opposite direction. I've been sitting a little while on the other side. Lifting high through the spine. Close the eyes and inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. Release. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. Release. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. Release. Continue now with your own breath. Follow your own count. Keep the mind connected with the movement and the count of the breath, and draw in the bandhas and the physical body on the exhale breath. And then let go of the breath. We're going to come back to our natural rhythm, opening the eyes. Through all of the breath practices and all of the breath control, if at any point anything doesn't feel right in your body or the breath doesn't feel right, always return back to your natural rhythm. And we've already started to work on Ujjayi breath, but I want to just spend a little bit more time introducing the Ujjayi breath. And a Ujjayi breath is a breath that we use often with the Ashtanga Modified Primary series for a couple of reasons. It stands for victorious breath, and that is because we create a sound in the back of the throat, the glottis, and by focusing the mind on the sound, we can be victorious over the internal chatter of the mind. But we also have a strong breath, so we use the intercostal muscles to strongly force the breath in and out of the body. And by moving the intercostal muscles, we create heat or agni in the physical body that can help us through our physical practice. And again, I'll start by demonstrating for you. So you sit up tall, as we've been doing, hands on the thighs, elbows in, close the eyes, slightly constrict the glottis. So if you swallow, you'll be able to feel what the glottis is, and then you can create a sound a little bit like the sea. You can rest your tongue just to sit inside the teeth on the roof of the mouth, and you draw the bandhas the same as the previous exercise on the exhale breath. So if you'd like to join me, any sound is good. So it doesn't have to be particularly loud, just any sound that you can create, and focus the mind on the sound. And remember to draw the bandhas in on the exhale breath. I'll cue you again for the first few breaths, and then I'll join you in the practice. Close the eyes, sit up tall. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. Release. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. Mula Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Release. Follow and continue your own breath count, really bringing in that sound, focusing the mind, and engaging the bandhas on the exhale breath. And then let go of the breath, opening the eyes. And for the pranayama, essentially you use the ujjayi breath and you continue that meditation for as long as you feel you would like to. So you can start maybe with 2 minutes, build up to 5, 10 and 15 minutes. And a teacher told me that for me, the yoga, the asana practice, the physical practice is almost like the cooking of the meal. And the pranayama is like the eating, it's the absorbing it into the practice. So doing the pranayama at the end of your practice before you wind down into shavasana. And when we move into a shavasana, that's when we let go of any control over the breath. But before we do a short, more extended pranayama, we're going to just do some movement. So where we actually move with the breath. And we're going to come over onto all fours, moving the cushion out of the way, into tabletop with the hands, fingers spread wide, hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips, and push into the tops of the feet. And we're going to come into a cat-cow variation and connect with your breath. So inhale, lift the gaze, drop the tailbone, drop the spine. And exhale, tuck the chin, push through the tailbone, round through the spine, and push the hips back towards the heels. Now, inhale, breath, flow forward, lift the gaze, drop the spine. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, push the hips back. Flow with your breath now. Move 3 more times. Inhale. Flow forward, drop the spine. Exhale, tuck the chin, push the hips back. Find your rhythm, find your breath, and find your flow. Moving backwards and forwards, tune the breath to the physical body. And on the next exhale, push the hips all the way back and bring the big toes together and the knees wide. Reach the hands out, coming into a child's pose. Close the eyes. Take a moment to observe the sensations in your physical body. Notice the breath. Softness, stillness. And then draw up onto all fours again. We're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips high, coming into a downward dog. Hands and feet parallel, bend the knees, lift the tailbone. And then exhale, roll onto a plank, pushing to the hands, pushing to the heels. Inhale, lift the tailbone, push your way back. Exhale, roll forward. Length from the crown of the head to the back of the heels. Inhale, lift up the tailbone. And now move a couple more times, find your rhythm, flow with the breath. Inhale, exhale. And drop the knees to the ground. And through all of the different practices, we're trying to really connect that movement of the inhale and the exhale breath. Another good example, if we come into a seated pose and bring in a twist. So if you bring your left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind you, gazing over the right shoulder. Push through the sit bones. Inhale, think about lengthening the spine, and exhale, draw the navel in. So the Uddiyana Bandha helps you twist a little bit deeper. So it's the exhale breath where you draw in the Uddiyana Bandha, draw the navel in and up, that you can get a little bit twist deeper. And if we come back to center for the opposite side, right hand, left knee, left hand behind you, push through the sit bones, draw the shoulder blades back. Think about pushing through the sit bones on the inhale to lengthen, and exhale, really draw the Uddiyana Bandha in. And come back to center. So this Mula Bandha, the Uddiyana Bandha, they're really core work that we can use in our physical practice, as well as connecting the breath with our flow. And one more I'll show you. So you drop your right hand to the side, inhale, lift the hand, left hand high. Exhale, flow the left hand forward to the left side. Inhale, lift. So we're creating a movement and flow. Exhale, fold forward, draw the navel in. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, flows forward, folds through the Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, lift. One more time. Exhale, flow forward. Inhale, lift. And again, flow forward. Exhale, draw the Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, lift high. And then come all the way back to your center. And then we're going to close now with a slightly longer pranayama. So you're drawing together all of the different features that we've gone through, the different bandhas, the Ujjayi breath. And I'm going to hold here for this time for 3 minutes, just setting the timer. So find your center and hands on the thighs, elbows in, lengthen the spine, close the eyes, a count of 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. Release. Continue now. Find your center, find your focus. Breath, body, mind, connected in one. And then release the breath. Open the eyes. Maybe move the cushion to one side. Bring the soles of the feet at the top of your mat with the knees facing upwards, hands either side. Tuck the chin into the chest and roll your way down to the floor. Extend the legs coming into Shavasana. Ankles can roll out from the body, palms can face upwards. Letting go of any control of the breath. This time, just take the gaze inward. Observe the sensations in the physical body. Observe the breath. Let go of any thoughts in the mind. Come back to this moment. You can stay in your Shavasana pose at home, or if you'd like to wake up with me, you can bring your ankles together, take the hands up and overhead, point through the fingers, point through the toes, stretch, and then draw the knees into the chest, hold the shins, roll side to side. Take the hands to the knees and push the sacrum to the earth. Make small circles to the right, massage the spine, massage the sacrum, and then take the circles to the left. And then fall over to the left or right side, coming into the fetal position. Pause here. And then bring the hands to the side of the body and make your way all the way back to our easy seated pose. So today we've connected with the basic principles of the connection of the breath and the body and the mind. And I hope you can use these and the rest of the physical practices through the rest of the week. And now we can take the hands high one last time, gaze to the thumbs and draw into the heart center for Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for connecting in time and space. Sending love and light. Namaste.